How to fake an entire esports career without ever playing the multi-year scheme of Tokyogurl. I was gonna say, is this like Sirens, like League of Legends, where they were like, actually we're all diamond players, and then it turns out they weren't. Oh gosh. Alright, let's watch this. Life Ruined! Is that the Thai flag? I think it is. Not sure.
How far would you be willing to go in order to fake a life that isn't yours?
Everything for clout. I'm a clout demon.
Today's world,
is that
this
what you
is a
want?
Question worth asking, because let's face it, there's too many people out there renting a sports car for a day, pretending that it's theirs.
Oh yeah, all the time. You see this on Instagram and shit. Like people renting watches and bags and really expensive makeup for a day. Like there's actual rental companies. If you go to very famous like influencer spots like Austin, in LA, there's actually not like, oh, rent a car for like a day to drive around in, like rent a car for photo shoots. Like they'll let you like take pictures of the car and pretend it's yours legally. It's insane. And like houses and objects like jewelry. I think there was one that was like designer bags, and you rent it for like $100 an hour or something. And then they farm that shit and say like, this is how I got rich. And people who are dumb obviously believe that. Yeah, private rent a plane too. Yes, you like never fly it actually, and then they just take pictures. They let you take pictures.
God, if I see another guru on a tropical island claiming that they made it because they did a few stock trades, then I might just burst a testicle. It takes common sense to understand that these people are using credit cards. This, of course, is all done in the hopes of trying to impress others. And while yes, it is pathetic, ridiculous even, it is done on a wide scale these days.
Ooh.
I mean, this has gotten so big that there's an entire...
Literally, this is what I'm fucking talking about, dude. Isn't that crazy? What do people do for fucking clout? And this is 2021.
Economy built around fake influencers.
Holy.
People who rent out mansions, sports cars, photographers, you name it, all in the hopes of appearing to be something that they are not. However, even though we've gotten to a point where this has gotten worryingly sophisticated, with an entire economy built around it, all of this still pales in comparison.
None of this can be you one day. No, man, I don't want to fucking be. I don't want to be some dumbass fucking influencer, bro. I already fucking hate it when people are like, "Oh, Lana, you should like teach people how to do this," and I'm like, "Bro, I don't know how to teach anything. I'm just an idiot on the internet. Chill. I don't want to fucking profit off of people for money and like fake my way to like telling them, yeah, if you do this, then like you can totally make $1 billion trillion right now." Like those fucking crypto bros that get lucky. Like, dude, it's not about that. I don't want that shit. Ew.
To the fake life that esports athlete Nafat Warasin has lived for the last few years.
Oh my god, these are like expensive designer bracelets. I've seen them before on Instagram. Yeah, these are, I don't know what they are, but like I've seen these before.
An absolute rising star in one of Southeast Asia's most popular games. She managed to get signed to one of the top esports organizations of the region, which eventually led her to the highest honor imaginable, representing her country of Thailand in the 2025 Southeast Asia Games.
Ooh.
Now, yes, admittedly, throughout all this time, she definitely had some suspicious behavior. There were definitely some doubts in regards to her avoided nature, but her teammates attributed that to maybe her being awkward, to maybe being nervous. You see, no one on her top team threw out so many...
She's doing the faker pose? Dude, this does not go as hard as Faker, man.
Hours playing with her could have ever guessed that her entire esports career has been nothing but fake. And no one could have even begun to come to the conclusion that for all this time, she wasn't even the one playing. What's even worse here is that this only got exposed after she had gotten on the Thailand national team and during an extremely important game between Thailand and Vietnam.
You couldn't even like, I don't know, pay money to get coached?
Which would have led this team to the finals.
She took that faker shit
she was actually caught red-handed live on stream during the semifinals of a competition that is the equivalent of the Olympics of Southeast Asia. Guys, I can't even begin to explain to you the secondhand embarrassment.
I've never heard of this.
This was so humiliating. Not just for her.
Arena of Valor. Is this a mobile game? Because they're all holding mobile phones. Arena of Valor. Oh, it's like it's like it's kind of like a League ripoff. Yeah. Dude, it looks just like League, chat. No, tell me this is not like just like League, dude. There's no way. There's no way. Look, it's Garen. Dude, this is crazy. This is insane. How did they get away with this shit? Dude. It's League Teemo. They even have this. Bro, it's the same UI! This looks like Wild Rift. Are you serious? How do they not get sued? I am actually like kind of flabbergasted. Look, it's Lucian! That's Lucian! Look, he's got a gun and he's shooting. Oh my god, dude. Recall, restore flicker. That's heal, and that's maybe flash or teleport? Bro, that is insane.
Though, not just for her teammates, but for the entire country of Thailand. And if you thought this was bad, then wait till you hear who was the person that was playing remotely for her during her entire career.
Her boyfriend. I literally have no idea what this is about. I have never heard of this. I'm reacting to it as you. I bet you it's her boyfriend. Her manager? No. Her boyfriend, a manager.
We only recently got confirmation in the beginning of 2026, and it's one hell of a way to start the year. Look, when I saw this, I thought it was so ridiculous. We had to talk about it. So you already know the drill. Without further ado, let's do this.
No
All right, so to fully grasp what's going on, we have to go all the way back to the year 2011 when Tencent would purchase Riot Games. This move was unprecedented and cost around $350 million. They were willing to make this bet because they understood how big the MOBA market was becoming. But more importantly, they were also understanding just how quickly the mobile market was becoming. Barely 2 years prior...
Isn't there like more mobile gamers than PC gamers at this point, like on average?
Angry Birds had come out,
People
and a year later,
on their
Candy Crush would come out, and these games would generate billions upon billions of dollars.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say like mobile real gamers, like not gamers like PC gamers, but yeah, they play games on their phone. What else am I gonna call them?
Developers would stop looking at PC and console and just focus on mobile because it was a cash cow, an absolute money printing machine, and it changed gaming forever. By 2015, Tencent's leadership team truly wanted to work with Riot Games.
This is why Wild Rift has better skins than League of Legends, by the way.
To make a mobile version of League of Legends. But no matter what Tencent did, no matter how many pitches they made, no matter how much revenue they started talking about, Riot Games leadership wouldn't budge. They truly believed that the experience that PC offered could never be replicated on mobile. But Tencent wasn't simply going to take no for an answer. In fact, even before asking Riot Games for their permission, they were already developing.
What? They can just do that?
Developing a MOBA for mobile behind the scenes and released it on that same year in November 2015.
You can just do that? Dude, corpos don't give a fuck about you, dude.
15 exclusively for China. And that game would be none other than Honor of Kings. 10 years later, Honor of Kings is still the highest grossing mobile game of all time.
Wait, so Tencent owns part of Riot, and they said, hey, can we do a mobile game? And Riot said no initially. So they said, fuck you, we're gonna do it, and then they just fucking make more money than League probably has in totality. This is probably more than League has made. How much has League of Legends made in money? I don't know why I said it like that, but... Oh my god. Lifetime earnings are 20 billion since its start. It actually is. This is close. This is almost as much and in less time because League came out in like 2009 or 2010. That's actually insane. Like, think about it. Like, this came out, what, 5-6 years later?
Beating Candy Crush, PUBG, Clash of Clans, you name it.
Bro,
making a
that's
whopping
fucked.
$18.6 billion.
On average, that's more
The
money
game
than
would prove to be
League
so
has made.
successful that Tencent would release a non-Chinese version for the rest of the world. It would be called Arena of Valor,
Yeah, what are
and
you
it
gonna
would be
do, sue
published
us?
by G Arena. Now, this game wouldn't really find a lot of success in the West, but would instead find its success in Southeast Asia. It is the biggest mobile game in Thailand, for example, and so it continued to garner an obscene amount of money. Right?
Wait, no, that makes sense because apparently I remember watching a video a while ago. A lot of people in Southeast Asia don't have money or like time to play on PC. So you want to know what they fucking do? They literally get a mobile phone, like a very good mobile phone, and then they just play them while they're on the transit and the transport. Because sometimes it takes them like an hour or two to get to work.
Games, on the other hand, would finally release a mobile version of League of Legends called League of Legends Wild Rift in 2020, 5 years
That's too
after
late.
Honor of Kings
Too
had
little,
released
too late.
exclusively in China. In 5 years, they made $1 billion in gross revenue and aren't even in the top 50 highest grossing mobile games of all time.
They don't even beat Honkai Star Rail or what the fuck? There's so many games that make more money. Mafia City? Or is this approximately $1 billion? These are all $1 bill.
So if you ever needed
That's
proof that the people running Riot
crazy.
Games have maybe like barely 2 brain cells, this is it. And the reason why I told you all this is because this incident involves Arena of Valor. You see, esports tournaments in Southeast Asia always have a form of mobile games, whether it be PUBG or Arena of Valor.
Phones cost as much as PC nowadays? Don't at me with dumbass shit, man. That is such a lie. An expensive phone costs $700 to like $1,000. A decent gaming PC costs like double or triple that. What are we talking about here? What? Yeah, like a decent gaming PC is like $3,000 to $5,000. A really good phone costs like up to like maybe like $1,600.
They're taken very
Hell
seriously.
no.
This is where the Southeast Asian Games come in. It's seen as this region's Olympics, and it happens once every 2 years. It features a wide array of different sports,
I didn't know this
and
was
of
a
course,
thing, to
one of
be
these
honest.
categories involves esports, more specifically, Arena of Valor. Now look, as I mentioned in the intro already, when it comes to Arena of Valor, Tokyogurl was a rising star. So much so that Talon Esports, a recognizable name in the Southeast Asian
Hong
scene,
Kong.
decided to sign her on their team. And I mean, by this point, one could argue she made it, right? What better indicator of success do you need in esports than getting signed on to a team? But to Tokyogurl, this was still the beginning of her journey because with that same team, she would go on to compete in the Thailand Women's National Qualifier for
Whoa,
Arena
dude.
of Valor. And guess what? Her role here would be substitute. But she was so damn good that by the end, not only did they win the entire national qualifier, but she went from
Whoa.
substitute to carry, one of the most important roles in the game. And yes, by the way, they won, which meant that they qualified to represent their country of Thailand in the Southeast Asia Games. That's what the qualifier was
Poggers.
for. Team Talon was going to have the incredible honor of representing
She loves
their
doing the
country,
faker thing.
and Tokyogurl was right there as the team's carry. Not only that, though, she was seen as the rising star of the women's Arena Valor esports scene and was being given nicknames like Beautiful Girl or whatever because she was both beautiful and incredibly skilled
Beautiful
at the
girl
game.
champ.
I mean, by this point, we could say that she truly, really made it, right? But in reality, this is where things were about to get very real because she and her team had immense pressure on their shoulders. You see, Thailand has the most gold, silver, and bronze medals in this competition's history. So they had high expectations to keep up the
Damn.
status quo. I should point out that this ranking isn't the most fair thing because not all the countries on this list were members on day one. In fact, Vietnam, for example, started off as South Vietnam. But you get the point, okay? Thailand is well known to have the most medals in this competition's history.
So this has been around for a long time, huh?
The members of the Southeast Asian Games take turns hosting the games on their territory. And in 2025, the year her and her team were going to compete, Thailand was going to be the host. They were representing their own country on their own soil. The pressure couldn't have been...
Oh yeah, this has been our thing since like 1959. That's crazy. Isn't that before the Vietnam War? Yeah, because they had South and North Vietnam.
Higher.
Interesting.
And so, on December 15th, it began. The Southeast Asian Games 33 Group Stage Women Arena of Valor Tournament. 4 countries participated.
I love
Vietnam,
women.
Thailand, Laos, and Timor-Leste.
Laotian,
Based on the qualifiers, Thailand was on track to make it to the finals. All they had to do was win against Vietnam. This was their first game in this tournament. So Thailand's team's only goal here was to just defeat Vietnam so they can make it to the finals and guarantee second place. If they would win the next match, they would guarantee a gold medal. They were in a very good position here, and they were so close to getting a minimum of top 2. But of course, seeing that they're on their home soil and they're representing their country, they were going for the gold medal.
Yeah,
However,
they want it bad. They want
some
it
of the
bad.
complications that occurred, I'm sure that some of the team members would have just rather gotten a bronze medal. In fact, no medal, rather than have to go through the embarrassment of having Tokyogurl on their team.
Ooh,
all right, so here's
drama.
the deal. Tokyogurl's suspicious behavior would begin even before the game started. You see, as part of the tournament, they're all given a game phone. They can't use their own phone to compete, obviously.
Yeah.
When Tokyogurl
Otherwise
would receive her
cheat.
phone, she'd ask, "Can I take the phone with me so I can set it up with my own settings?" She was told, "Of course not. That's against the rules." But that would only be the beginning of her suspicious activity. She'd be acting weird even on the live stream, trying to hide her phone from the camera in front of her, making it seem like there's something on there that would get her in trouble somehow. And then eventually, live on stream, the Thai coach would catch something weird happening on her screen. And this is when the game would be paused.
Dude, the audacity. This is the equivalent of like having cheats on your phone at like the world tournament, dude.
People initially were confused as to why the pause was happening. Some of her teammates had no idea what was going on, but the stream kept running, and she was being confronted by staff. They noticed that the movements she was making on her phone weren't matching the in-game movements. And what's worse is that the game would continue after this, and her performance would become severely worse. It seemed like after being caught, a switch had flipped. And as the second game was starting, her performance became abysmal, barely able to get a single kill. But at the time, fans weren't even concerned with any of this. They were concerned with the fact that she was acting weird after being caught, making a middle finger gesture to the camera. This is of course seen as very unprofessional and not fit for an athlete. But I guess this was just her way of coping with the idea that she was caught. So as I mentioned, after she was caught...
You could always say like, oh, she's like under pressure, but like she's acting super bizarre, dude. Covering up her, you know, her freaking... Her entire phone like that, like jumping over it basically. Athlete? I mean, what would you call it then? Gamer?
The games kept going on. Tokyogurl's performance would be abysmal. Some of the worst games she's ever played in her career.
Gamer.
And Thailand would end up losing to Vietnam 0-3. It was a very embarrassing defeat. But what was more embarrassing are the extremely quick and ruthless consequences that came her way on the same day. Very shortly after Thailand's crushing defeat to Vietnam, the Thailand National Olympic Committee would post this letter on their socials, saying, "Decision on personal penalty for a Thai athlete of the Thailand Arena of Valor women's team, esports event at the 33rd SEA Games Thailand 2025. To whom it may concern, this is to inform you of the decision made during the Arena of Valor women's team match between Team Thailand and Team Vietnam in the winners final of the esports competition at the 33rd Southeast Asian Games on December 15th, 2025. A Thai athlete, Warasin Nafat, committed an offense under item 943 of the Esports Technical Handbook by using unauthorized third-party software or hardware modification during Game 1 of the match. After further investigation, conclusive evidence was found,
or
which
someone
led to
else
the
was
imposition
playing
of a
for
personal
her.
penalty, resulting in her expulsion from the entirety of the esports competition at the 33rd Southeast Asian Games. The decision is final.
You know what? I'll give her props for commitment and not cracking and playing it all the way through to the finals and being like, yeah, you know what? I'm really good at the game. I know I'm not going to cheat and I'm going to beat it. I don't know, man. I think I would have cracked under the fucking pressure. No, fuck her. I'm being sarcastic, chat. I'm not actually giving her props, man. I'm saying that I would have cracked under the pressure of like holding up this like fake persona the whole time.
Above is for your information
this
and
is
understanding.
Crazy.
Thank
the
you,
audacity to do
regards.
that.
Signed,
You're a
the
bitch.
esports technical delegate of the 33rd Southeast Asian Games. So hey, that investigation didn't take long at all. And this letter would serve to be the beginning of a tsunami for Tokyogurl's entire career.
She did crack, yeah, but at the finals. I'm saying I wouldn't have the audacity to sign myself up to the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the kangaroo girl breakdancing situation, except that chick didn't cheat technically. Like, this chick actually unironically cheated. That bitch was just nepoed into the game. Yeah, like, it's different types of kind of, like, cheating, but not in the same.
Before we get to that, let's take a step back. What the hell did they mean when they said using unauthorized third-party software or hardware modification? What exactly did she do? How could you even cheat in a MOBA game? Well, that wasn't clear. The Thailand National Olympic Committee didn't give any specifics, so you had many people theorize, and even news publications theorize, that what she was using was TeamViewer, a program that allows you to remotely control a user's device. But you see, anyone who's used TeamViewer before can attest to the fact that it's laggy as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I've TeamViewered into other people's computers, and I've also TeamViewered to, like, to sit in queue for classic WoW. Yeah, while I slept. Yeah, TeamViewer, like, is just bad.
Latency would not allow you to compete in a high-level esports tournament, especially in a MOBA. It requires split-second decisions. Additionally, many people were wondering how we could even start talking about remote interference when this was a tournament. Aren't tournaments like this usually held on a local network? Well, it turned out that no, actually. Not in the case of the women's tournament.
What?
The women's tournament for Arena of Valor was on an online private server. So things were starting to get very interesting, to say the least, but no proper conclusions were reached just yet as to how she cheated. In the meantime, though, the tsunami on her career would continue, and Talon would very quickly release a statement saying she is out of our organization effective immediately. Additionally, she'll be repaying around 9 months of her training costs for the entire duration of when she was under our organization. Now, they didn't specify a number, but around 9 months of training expenses? Yeah, that's not a small amount of money, I'm sure. As far as I'm aware, this also included prize money. And of course, seeing all this happen, G Arena wasted no time whatsoever and also put out a statement on their Facebook page. In it, they would of course express outrage and announce that they were banning Tokyogurl from participating in anything related to Arena of Valor indefinitely, forever. But of course, this tsunami ending her career didn't just involve companies. It also involved her heartbroken teammates, like for example, Give Me a Kiss, the captain for the Talent.
My question is, like, how did the teammates not notice this? Did they never play games with them in real life?
Team, and by that same token, the captain for the Thailand national team. On December 15th, she'd post, "I was heartbroken when I found out, but I'll do my best." Her heartbreak is of course in reference to her teammate cheating, but her saying that she'll do her best was in reference to the game they've still yet to play in the lower bracket final. You see, shortly after the game with Vietnam, Tokyogurl would get benched. The Thailand national team would then bring in the substitute to play against Laos because they had won against Timor-Leste and therefore qualified to play Thailand in the lower bracket final. The winner of the lower bracket final would face off against Vietnam in the real finals for the gold medal. Thailand would actually end up winning against Laos.
Nah. In real gamer terms, this is the loser's bracket.
Qualifying them for the finals against Vietnam. This game against Laos would happen on the next day in the early morning of the 16th. However, barely a few hours later, Santi Lothong, who is the president of the Thai Esport Federation, would go live on his personal Facebook page. This is when he would confirm, while breaking down in tears, that the Thailand national team for Arena of Valor would be withdrawing from the competition entirely, even though they had made it to the finals against Vietnam. This meant that Laos would take their place, and this meant that Thailand was withdrawing with 0 medals in the women's tournament for Arena of Valor. He'd then speak to a newspaper on that matter and say, I, Santi Lothong, as president of the Thai Esports Federation and president of the Asian Esports Federation, hereby announce that Thailand will withdraw its Arena of Valor women's team from the 33rd...
In Asia, like, the societal, cultural honor, like, there's a lot of honor expectations, so they take that shit really seriously. Like, in Thailand, Japan... I think in Vietnam, like all those Southeast Asian kind of like countries, Philippines, I know Japan isn't Southeast Asia, but like just take that into account because it's still Asia. There's a big honor system. You're dishonoring your team, you're dishonoring your company, all the people that believed in you, your fans. Yeah, like you think that like other countries are bad? Like people take this super seriously. Yeah, you're disgracing everyone by proxy.
DA Games hosted by Thailand. We respect all regulations, we respect friendships, and we respect the spirit of sportsmanship.
Yeah.
What happened went beyond our scope of responsibility, as this is a serious matter. As the host nation, we cannot allow the tournament to continue under such circumstances.
Everyone, man.
We understand that the Thai and Laotian teams still competed this morning. Thank you, Chairman Chan, for not filing a complaint against Thailand or withdrawing from the tournament this morning. That is the spirit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Thank you to the Laotian athletes for taking to the field and showing respect for Thailand. As the president of the association, I would like to send my encouragement to the remaining athletes who are still competing. I understand that you have all tried your best. Last night, I spoke with Coach Poom. This is truly a very difficult situation, with Thailand being the host country and me as the president of the Asian Federation, who is absolutely responsible for overseeing this tournament.
Into account.
After that, I will speak individually with the athletes in my capacity as the esports manager of Thailand. So as you can see, this was a very big deal. It was very embarrassing, heartbreaking, and humiliating to anyone. Well,
it's like also, how did they not catch this sooner? It's like I guess they just kind of just trusted her. They took our word for it. They never played games with her in real life. It was all just over like the internet or something.
That had anything to do with Thailand.
Yeah.
After the announcement of them officially withdrawing from the competition, Give Me a Kiss would post another Facebook post that was met with a ton of support, saying, I'm speechless with sadness. We've all worked so hard for this, towards our shared dream and goal. Last night, we continued practicing with the remaining lineup until very late. My heart is completely shattered. Finally, I want to apologize to everyone. You see, this wasn't just about the teammates of Tokyogurl or the organizers. This stretched way beyond to any Thai athlete. In parallel, for example, the men's division of Arena of Valor had won second place. But now, even that was being put into question. Did they cheat? Did they do this legit? They had essentially faced additional scrutiny just because of that incident and made it seem like they faked their win. All Thai athletes were beginning to suffer from this. So seeing that this incident had escaped containment like radiation...
Dude, what if the people scrutinize like the people that didn't even play video games? Like, you could have cheated on this sport! It's like, how could I have cheated? It's not the same.
Had escaped Chernobyl, and the consequences were spreading shockwaves across the entirety of Thailand as a country and its integrity and its pride. What did Tokyogurl have to say about it? Did she apologize? Did she make amends? Did she try to make it right? Nope. Because why would she? Instead, she'd be hospitalized immediately after. And the only public statement she'd make would be a reply to a Facebook post criticizing her. Here's what she'd have to say. Let me answer.
My life
if I had cheated, I would have won a long time ago. To be honest, how could I have cheated? I was playing by myself, but because of the stress and pressure of the game, I panicked. At that time, no one around me knew what was happening, so I was taken to the hospital. I've only just been able to use my phone, and my hand is still plugged into an IV drip. So I'm completely...
Oh my god, this reminds me of that VTuber. Oh my god, do you guys know what I'm talking about? This little baby VTuber that like... people pounded her fucking ass on Twitter and said she was being a loser, and then she's like, guys, I'm in the hospital, and turns out it's like a fake it was like a fake AI hospital, or like it was like a faked photo. Yeah, Chachachilla. Yeah, that one. They did what to her? That people berated her on Twitter or something, and she posted a photo that wasn't even hers of her in the hospital and like taking zero accountability and playing the victim. I forget what it was about.
Unable to share or clarify anything about the fraud. You don't know what I've been through, and yet you're saying that? Anyone in that situation wouldn't know how to react either. As for the middle finger incident, I was just joking with the person sitting next to me. When I turned around, the camera was pointed at someone else's face. I was just teasing my friends because I was so stressed at the time. I was so panicked that I fainted, which is why I had to be taken to the hospital. I mean, seriously, what an incredible 10 out of 10 statement. Truly redeemed herself with that one. I mean, who is this Cha-Cha Chilla trying to gain sympathy?
God damn it!
By telling us she's in the hospital? Look, under no circumstances should someone hurt themselves over anything. But come on, you fainted because you were stressed? Of course you would be, because you were caught. And no one's going to believe that whole middle finger story. You were looking directly at the camera. And as she was trying to defend herself in this stupidly made post, more details would emerge as to how she cheated. So each player was given a phone, right? And since this wasn't played on LAN, this was played on an online private server, each player was given an account to log in with. Tokyogurl would then take these credentials.
Dota, I'm pretty sure does this. Like, I think it's just like an easy way of keeping it like real, you know? Because then you can monitor the accounts. Yeah, it's just an easy way for everyone to have a clean playing field for like... Yeah, even WoW does this too. If you want to play an arena, you don't play on your account, you play on a tournament realm, and then they give you a copy of all the gear, all of the stats and everything to make a carbon copy to like play the game on an even playing field. So people can't
send them
cheat
to someone else so that they can log in and play for her. She would then install Discord, okay, and get into a call with the person playing for her. That person would then screen share their game. Tokyogurl
It wasn't even TeamViewer?
Would watch the screen share and full screen it, and would then attempt to mimic their movements on her screen, faking the fact that she was the one who was playing. And get this wasn't just done for this tournament. This is what she's been doing for her entire career. Because after the first round...
The fact that they didn't notice this is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, because if you press any button... Like, think about it logically. When you full screen on Discord, if you like tap too much, it'll just unfull screen it.
And after she was caught and had to actually close Discord, her performance would become abysmal. So after her terrible reply, and after the reveal of what she had done to cheat, Tokyogurl would delete her Instagram page, her Facebook page, and her TikTok, essentially wiping all traces of herself online. As people were still mind-blown by how she was able to fake her entire career through using Discord, the Vietnamese newspaper VN Express would interview some players in the Arena of Valor community, including the team captain Give Me a Kiss, to try and understand Tokyogurl's insane story a bit better. The article would say, Tokyogurl had long been a prominent name in Thailand's Arena of Valor community. Team captain Jomkon Pomsino, known as Give Me a Kiss, said she was widely regarded as one of the country's strongest female marksmen and jungle players. Her live streams and TikTok videos regularly showcased high-level gameplay, leading to her inclusion in the national squad without a formal tryout.
I'm sorry, in a mobile Riot like knockoff game? Come on. I remember there was a chatter that got really offended when I made fun of Wild Rift, and I said, like, if you're like diamond in Wild Rift, you're probably bronze in League. And he's like, I have 20 plus wins on my win-loss ratio. I'm diamond plus in Wild Rift. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You should kill yourself. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't matter. You're still playing a mobile like League game with like aim assist. Like, come on.
Head coach Jakopon Palm and several teammates said Tokyogurl appeared to be the strongest player on the roster during preseason practice matches. However, they noted that she rarely attended in-person training sessions and mostly played with the team online. Surprise, surprise, right? Tokyogurl's reputation was further reinforced by Chicken V, a well-known Thai Arena of Valor streamer who had previously helped introduce her to a wider audience.
And none of them caught on?
Played solo matches against her and lost badly, Chicken V said. But in hindsight, there were warning signs. She always had someone beside her when playing online. When I asked her to play in person, she often made excuses. Looking back at her old videos, none showed her hands or the screen, only her forehead. So you see, there were signs, but these people chose to give her the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know if this is... I don't think this is a hot take, but I think when you're a girl, I think people are more lenient. I do think people are way more lenient. This was shown back when Siren was formed and people doubted their skills, but then people were saying that they're like being sexist and shit, and then it turns out only one of the girls was like a diamond level player, and then everyone was like either gold or platinum, and they just like they sold the fact and said like, oh, these are pro girl gamers, and it's like only one of them was diamond. That girl should have made her own thing. Like back then, like I think when Siren came out, diamond was like the hard cap for like what was considered good. And that's fine. Like she would be considered a diamond player, but everyone else was like, oh, I'm actually just plat. I'm like low plat and like I'm high gold.
And yet she completely used their trust and threw it in the garbage. However, one question...
And I think this also goes for crimes, too. Like, actual crimes, people are way more lenient. Judges are way more lenient on average to girls.
Question remained. Yeah. Who the hell was behind her
Sniper
gameplay?
Wolf, yeah,
Who was this
Sniper
insane
Wolf too.
Player that allowed her to fake her entire
benefit
career?
Of the doubt.
Well, and you won't believe this, but it just so happened that Tokyogurl's boyfriend...
I called it!
Had been an ex-esports player for Arena of Valor.
No
I know,
way.
Absolutely crazy. No one would have guessed that. So people theorized that it was him. However, no one had any concrete proof, and no one had come out to reveal this. That would be, of course, until a couple weeks would pass by after the incident, because on January 2nd, the remote player would finally confess. To almost nobody's surprise, on January 2nd, Cheerio would come out and confess that he was the player.
He couldn't take it anymore.
Playing remotely for
the
Tokyogurl.
Guilt, man.
He confessed this by posting a statement on his personal.
You're in this pre-watch. No, it's just pattern recognition, man. Look, if you really think about it, when something goes really wrong, I don't know, man. It's either the boyfriend, the manager, or both.
TikTok account. An account that still, even after posting the confession, has a donation link.
What? Why?
In the bio. I mean, how shameless can you really be? The statement would, of course, be in Thai and would comprise of 2 pages. Here's what it had to say. Hello, I'm Cheerio, and I want to clarify the issues that occurred during the SEA Games 33 and other tournaments where there were suspicions of substitutions in many matches. I acknowledge that this is true as reported by the press. I've had time to reflect. I regret what I have done and I want to offer my sincere apologies to society. Okay, this is a bit roughly translated, but you know, you'll
like
get the point,
people,
I'm sure.
the community.
I take responsibility for what happened and accept all criticism and consequences without any justification. I apologize to those affected by my selfish actions. I apologize to all Thai people for bringing shame to the country. This incident is an important lesson in my life. I will use it to reflect on myself, improve, and make amends. I promise that I will not let anyone else be harmed or let the country lose its reputation because of my actions again. Finally, I would like to apologize to everyone once again. I apologize to Mr. Santi Lotong, president of the Thai Esport Association. I apologize to the Talon women's team. I apologize to the other women's teams that lost their chance. I apologize to everyone involved in all the tournaments I participated in, and I apologize to everyone who was disappointed with the results. I decided to speak out late because the public outcry was so strong and so rapid that I wasn't prepared and didn't know how to respond.
He literally panicked.
I apologize to everyone. I'm currently in a place where I'm not ready to live stream. When I get home, I will live stream to apologize and again explain what everyone wants to know. So look, already way better than the statements that Tokyogurl made.
Yeah, at least he apologized
still,
and he said
sorry. A lot
sorry.
of questions remain unanswered. And I guess when he eventually live streams, maybe we'll get to know. And according to this article by the Vietnamese publication known as Bao Moi, Cheerio is highly regarded in the Thai esports scene. Specifically for Arena of Valor, he's seen as a very skilled player. Interestingly enough, someone of his skill and playstyle stood more to lose than Tokyogurl by doing this. So that's one of the questions that's unanswered. Why did he do this? Purely because he was her boyfriend, or was there something else at play?
Titties.
Either way, in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter because the time.
What men do for a crumb of pussy. Not that I blame him. Not that I blame him. Probably got a cut of the money. Yeah, and titties.
Thai Esports Association immediately would announce that they're taking action not just against Tokyogurl, but now against Cheerio after he admitted being the remote player. This is where Santi Lotong would confirm that he'll be pursuing legal action against both individuals to the fullest extent, saying that
What?
Cheerio's admission will expedite the investigation process by allowing communication companies to check the IP addresses of the offenders for evidence, with authorities affirming that legal proceedings will continue until fully
Bro, they
resolved.
take this shit
And by the way, just as an
seriously,
update,
man.
yes, they've confirmed that the IP address was different. So it doesn't take a genius to understand that this couple will be facing a lot of headaches in 2026. And the year has barely just
yikes.
started. But speaking of headaches, the ones who actually have to suffer through them for a long time now will be anyone, more specifically any woman looking to compete.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's so irritating. Like cheaters, though. You guys remember the wall hacker streamer girl that literally had wall hacks up on stream? The girl that faked the blindfold run for Monster Hunter and like argued everyone into the dirt, saying like, no, I'm not a cheater. And when evidence came forward, like saying, yeah, it really looks like you fucking cheated, lady. She just doubled down. I don't know, man. It just sucks, man.
For Thailand. Or you know what? In esports in general.
Yeah, I'm a
This is what
physician.
explained
Yeah, the Redditor. I'm a physician. I know what I'm talking about. Good lord.
by Frozen Kiss, one of the biggest Thai female content creators who also used to be an esports athlete. She'd make this post on
esports
Facebook
athlete.
saying, "I'm speechless with disappointment. Why would someone cheat to make the national team?
Clout, money, attention. There's just some people that, like, unironically, they breathe oxygen and they need clout to survive. If they don't get clout, they just die.
In smaller tournaments, it's
Metaphysically, not
unacceptable.
literally.
Other women's teams that are serious, dedicated to training and competing have been developing
Absolute
for so long.
cloud demons.
This Southeast Asia Games was watched by many, and there was a growing desire to see a proper women's tournament established, and then it all fell apart. The problem of substitutions never goes away, no matter how many years pass. Honestly, I'm so
True.
ashamed that a player we used to compete with is accused.
I'm pretty sure there was some dramas with like a bunch of countries taking for example, like in the Olympics back in the 80s and 90s, there was a lot of drama with people using roids, and people just started being super skeptical every single year after that of those countries, even if the teams changed, of those people that came after them, giving them shit and saying like, oh, well, you're just gonna cheat because you're like X country. You're just gonna use that. Yeah, like it does tarnish it. Like I know people are gonna be like, oh, Alana, it's not that serious. Genuinely, it does tarnish the reputation of a country if they're competing in like at a high level. Yeah.
Accused of cheating at a national
Even if
level.
it's
How
new
will
people
people view
coming
Thai
in
female
every
players
time.
now? Why
Yeah,
would someone
Russia,
dare to
I
ruin our
think
country's
America got in
reputation
trouble
and
a
the
lot
dedication
too.
of others? It feels so unfair. I feel so sorry for the other teams that worked so hard but
It
lost like this.
sucks,
It's
yeah.
such a waste of opportunity. So as I mentioned before, this wasn't just about this team in particular, or Tokyogurl in particular. This was about all Thai athletes. And I mean, think of how demotivating it is to be a team that had lost to Talon in the national qualifiers. Like, you lost out on the opportunity of representing your country because someone on the enemy team had their
And
boyfriend
you
playing for them. That's
disgraced us
crazy.
all.
It's so unfortunate. And based on Frozen Kiss's post, she said the problem of substitutions never goes away no matter how many years pass. This
Yeah.
means that this isn't the first time that a female athlete faked her entire career in esports. It's just that no one managed to fake it until they had reached the national team.
Yeah, that's what
it's
I'm
only normal to be furious
saying.
if you're Thai, and I mean, it's only normal to be furious if you're a woman in general, honestly. I hope that the country's reputation can recover, and I hope that better measures are taken to make sure that everyone's playing fair in the future. This was an absolutely crazy incident, and I hope that this is the last time we hear of it. And for you watching, yes, you take this as a lesson. You can fake being something that you're not. Hell, you can probably do it for a long time, but eventually it'll catch up to you one way or another. The best you can do for yourself is to live a life full of authenticity
honest,
while also
yeah.
making sure that you have no regrets. Don't take out a $50,000 loan to show off to people that don't matter on Instagram, and definitely don't somehow
I
convince
think this woman was just like drunk on the clout. Some people can just help themselves. They will die by the lie, and that shows with the girl also not taking accountability and not saying she's sorry and saying, I'm in the hospital, I'm really stressed out. At least the guy apologized. Yeah, the guy who cheated with her, he's like, oh man, I'm sorry, like this fucking sucks. They're gonna get sued and she's still gonna be like, no, I didn't do it. I'm just a girl. So dumb.
your boyfriend to play for you on a pro level. I mean, what the fuck? Anyway, thank you so much for watching until the end. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to use the code Mugen on Gamersubs for 10% off. You can do this on any of their tubs, and soon they'll be releasing their own version of Creatine
the
powder.
Gamerade.
Bro, this packaging looks insane. I'll see you in the next video whenever that is. Should be soon, because I'm going to have a big sponsor announcement in that one. Stay tuned. I love you so much, and please take care. Mwah.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to play for Thailand. Let me know when. Womban moment. I'm just a girl. Yes, queen. Absolute cloud demons. I could never. I'm alright. I just couldn't. Just be herself, man. Like, I know everyone has a fake internet persona to an extent, but geez, man. Have some dignity. I feel like your brain... If you lie way too much, I think your brain literally can't keep up with, like, the amount of lies that you distribute. I think at a certain point. That's why, like, telling the truth is obviously better, because you can recount the truth. That's how they get you in court, too. Like, they make you repeat the same story over and over and over. And if it has slight deviations, like, to a fault, obviously people are, make mistakes. But if you keep a lie up, like, you can't keep up a lie for too long.